Hello everybody, my name is Graham Elwood and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Well, Wine Cave Pete, right? He is the first ever openly gay presidential nominee, or candidate, right? Not nominee, but presidential candidate. And that's a big deal, good, hey, diversity, I'm all for it. Queer activists disrupt Pete Buttigieg's event in San Francisco. We deserve better. Fundraiser highlights division as growing number of LGBTQ voters say his views don't represent them. Wow. It's funny. He's always talking about, I'm gay, I'm openly gay, my husband, and all this stuff. And that LGBT community, National LGBTQ Center for the Arts, two queer activists stood up and disrupted a private fundraiser for Pete Buttigieg. The activists were part of a group protesting outside the event that reflected a growing disquiet among the LGBTQ community when it came to the Buttigieg campaign. See how the identity politics of the neoliberals are backfiring? It really came to a head in 2016, right? Because so many of us who were Bernie Sanders supporters were told we were misogynist if we didn't vote for her. And I know so many women and people of color who watch this show and were and are Bernie Sanders supporters were like, wait a minute. That campaign, I'm with her. It was so trying to tap into identity politics. If you're not with her, you're against women. Wait a minute. So I lost my house. I'm struggling to pay my bills. And Hillary Clinton, who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, she doesn't have my back. I have to get hers. I have to get the back of a rich white lady. And if I don't, I'm misogynist. It just blew everything. Everyone's sick. And now they keep trying it. It's like Kamala Harris. She was like, and everyone was like, when Tulsi Gabbard said, wait a minute, you put all these people of color behind bars as attorney general. Wait, what? You can't say that. Kamala had that meltdown because she couldn't play the identity politics card against Tulsi, who's a woman of color. You saw Amy Klobuchar have it the other night in the Dem debates when that woman, that Latina woman from Telemundo was asking her all those pointed questions about, you don't know the Mexican president's name, you don't know the policy over there, you don't know anything about that, and you're going to really try to talk about immigration and deal with the border security and all that? And Klobuchar was all like, she got all pissed off because she couldn't play because that's, if you listen to Klobuchar, her whole campaign, every time in the debate stages, it's time a woman can do it. And it's like, okay, what are your policies and platforms? You just sound like a Reagan Republican from the 80s. Like, I know so many women who are like fans of that. I was talking to one last night who was like, Graham, it's embarrassing for me as a woman when Klobuchar says that stuff. It's embarrassing for me. And I was like, wow. So it keeps backfiring. Because people are actually wanting policies and platforms that make their lives better. I'm not voting for Bernie Sanders because he's going to be the first Jewish president. I mean, that's cool, I guess, breaking barriers, but if he had policies like Michael Bloomberg, I'm not voting for Bloomberg. And that doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic. It means I'm anti-billionaire buddies with pedophiles. That's what I'm anti. Bernie Sanders has got plans that help people. There's a lot about Tulsi Gabbard I like. The fact that she's a woman of color, okay, that's great. But again, it's her policies and her platform. It's her anti-war, her anti-interventionist stance. That's what I like. So it keeps backfiring. And this is kind of amazing. I'm definitely proud of the fact that a gay candidate has made it thus far, but it's hard to enjoy or appreciate it when his stances are so middle of the road and speak to a predominantly white upper class audience. The event was held in the Mission District in San Francisco, which used to be like a Latino, it's being gentrified by the tech people, but used to be like a working class Latino neighborhood, the Mission. There's still cool stuff about it, but San Francisco, I have family like that grew up there. My cousin, and he grew up in San Francisco, and he doesn't live there anymore. His Graham, the soul of San Francisco is gone because it's been gentrified and the rates have gone through the roof. And Pete Buttigieg is just demonstrating that. What does it say that this event is not accessible to the folks that live in the neighborhood where it's being held? Because it is still primarily working class and Latino. They're holding on. They're fighting gentrification so hard in that neighborhood. And Pete Buttigieg, Wine Cave Pete, has an event where tickets start at $250. And then he says this bullshit about Bernie Sanders wants to burn the whole house down. No, let me tell you something, Pete. If $15 an hour minimum wage and Medicare for all and student debt forgiveness and free public colleges and universities and ending wars and a Green New Deal that puts everyone to work, that's the only house that's burning down is your billionaire house with a wine cave. That's the only house that's getting burnt down. Working class people's houses, no, our houses aren't getting burnt down. Me living in a one-bedroom rent-controlled apartment, that actually, Bernie Sanders actually will make my life better and other people's lives better. And if people don't have to struggle to pay their bills and they're making decent money, you know what that means for me just as a comedian? More people will have money to support this show. More people will have money to buy tickets to see Ron Placone and I on the road. That's what infusing more money into the economy means. And Bernie doesn't want to take away anyone's health insurance. I'm so sick of that shit. So they stood up and protested. And this is what someone in the Buttigieg campaign said. You're homophobes. That's what you all are. You're homophobes. A Buttigieg supporter yelled at the protesters after the event. We're all gay. A protester responded. Neoliberal, they're so dumb with their identity politics. They're so dumb. Read this whole section. The people who disrupted that fundraiser were all queer people of color. Polydor said, we're allowed to want the gay candidate who is running to do better and be better for queer communities of color. There's nothing homophobic about that. And I want to know who yelled you're homophobic. Was it like a white person, like a straight white person that works for Buttigieg? You're homophobic. Any criticism of Buttigieg? I don't like his Medicare for all plan. You homophobe. You hate gays. This shit makes me laugh because I was talking to Katie Halper. She was in LA and she came to Ron and I's Progressive Comedy Tour show in December at the Sycamore Tavern. And they had just called Bernie of being anti-Semitic. And Katie goes, they're so dumb. She goes, you don't even that's not how you insult a Jewish person. You say they're a self-hating Jew. You don't call them anti-Semites. They're just so stupid. It's like these dumb neoliberals don't even know. They called a group of gay people of color homophobic. Like, what? It's like a group of people of color protesting Trump or something, and you just, you neo-Nazis. Like, what? There's a really heavy Jewish community in Los Angeles, like where they're Orthodox, they wear the traditional clothing. You see people dressed like that, and rabbis. I just want to drive by a rabbi and just go, you anti-Semite. Wait, what? No, he wasn't talking. There's no way he was talking to me. There's no way he was talking to me. Medea Benjamin at Code Pink, you warmonger. You're a warmonger. It's just, I could do this all night. Oh, it's great to see the identity politics of the corporate Democrats that all they want to do is screw over the working class for their billionaire benefactors. Wine Cave Pete, CIA Pete, he's a deep state asset. He has taken 40 billionaire money from 40 billionaires. That's who he is. So playing up that he's gay is just an identity politic tactic. It's just Hillary's I'm with her. I'm with her was to distract. Look, I've said this before. The ruling class uses identity politics to get the left to vote against their own interests. They use the Bible and the Second Amendment and family values to get conservative voters to vote against their own interests. Because there's no way diehard feminists would have voted for a white male that supported NAFTA, that voted for the Patriot Act, that voted for the war in Iraq, that helped us go from 2 wars to 7, that laughed when Gaddafi was killed, that gave defense contracts to 20 countries that donated to his foundation, a white guy that'd been on Epstein's plane 2 times, that had Ghislaine Maxwell at his daughter's wedding. There's no way the feminist neoliberal identity politic suckers would have voted for Hillary Clinton if she was a man. So they got a white guy with right-wing corporate pro-war policies. Basically, that's what they did. They said, how can we get people to vote for basically Republican, right-wing, pro-Wall Street, pro-war policies? Oh, we'll have a woman do it. And we'll scream, I'm with her, and we'll scream sexism at any turn. And when I'll interrupt Bernie repeatedly, and when he goes, hey, wait your turn, we'll go, oh, wait your turn, it's our turn now. You know, like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. It's like, how did you get a bunch of working class white people to vote for a billionaire like Donald Trump that's a complete scam artist? Well, you say, make America great again. You say, I'm gonna give you your job back. That's how you do it. A guy that flies around in a private jet with his name on it, how do you get working class people to think that guy? Well, that's how you do it. How do you get, lefty liberals to vote for a CIA, a former Navy intelligence officer that worked for a consulting firm that got rid of union jobs with the post office, who takes money from 40 billionaires? How do you get people to vote for that? Oh, make him a millennial, make him a war hero, make him gay. There we go. We'll vote for that. That's what they did. They found the right person to play these parts, to get people to vote against their own interests. So hats off to these protesters. Thank you for doing that. So I just really appreciate you watching my show. I literally cannot do this show without your support. Please go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. It's a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are there for free. If you sign up for $10 a month, you get all the premium content and exclusive content that I and every content creator, Ron Placone, Convo Couch, Nico House, a bunch of people are on that platform, and it's growing. And because it's blockchain and crypto, we own it. The content creators own it, so Google can't come in and buy it. Of course, you can go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, and you can like, share, and subscribe to this channel and push these videos out. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I do not get paid, and you're all making Gotham great again. Boom.